1, 2, 3. Pachamama! Okay, good luck. Let's go this way, please.
Let's do this.
We're Kitty and John, and we're currently 2 days into our epic 5-day Salkantay Trek to Machu Picchu. If you missed our previous video, we spent the first day hiking a short 10 km to the stunning Ollantaytambo lagoon before spending the night in some beautiful sky domes. The second day of the trek was by far the toughest. We walked a massive 22 kilometers up and over the Salkantay Pass, which at 4,630 meters was the highest point on our hike. Descending into the cloud forest, we arrived at our alpine huts for a well-needed rest before we starting our third day.
Day 3 already. It doesn't seem like that. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Pachamama! Good luck for a while. Let's go this way.
Good morning, guys. Welcome to day 3 of our Machu Picchu hike, and thankfully today is going to be a little bit easier than yesterday.
Yeah, it's only 18 kilometers, so it's a few kilometers less. However, it's mainly flat and downhill, so it's gonna be like a little breeze.
Yeah, we're going from about 2,900 meters this morning to about 2,100 meters where our base camp is. So yeah, it should be a nice day. Walking just through this valley, I think. Had a good night's sleep in the Andean huts last night. It's definitely better sleep than in the sky domes, I think.
Much warmer.
Yeah, much warmer, a little bit cozier.
Less altitude as well, so you sleep better.
Yeah, for
on
sure.
lower altitude.
We're ready to go, and we'll catch up with you a little later in the day. That's the Salkantay mountain and Salkantay Pass that we came down yesterday, and then this was our base camp over here. Pretty epic. And you can just see how quickly the scenery changes from like lush green to the mountain.
Doesn't come out there. That's what you say. What's the view about it, right? Or what's the name? So that's messed up.
So we seem to be following this valley along this road for the most part during the day. Definitely a little more monotonous walking, but the scenery is still really spectacular and totally different from yesterday. Jungle everywhere, waterfalls cascading down the mountains. Still pretty epic. It's almost like we're back in Costa Rica or something. It's that sort of different cloud foresty landscape. It's just crazy how in 2 days we've gone from one biome to a completely different one. The second half of the day continued in much the same way as the first. We crossed many little rivers and countless fords on proper bridges, bridges made of planks. And most of the time just on stepping stones. We even had to cross a few landslides. Just before arriving to our accommodation for the night, we stopped at a local coffee plantation where we got the chance to roast our own coffee beans. And used our upper body strength to press them before getting the chance to taste the product of our hard work.
We're having pretty good weather every day. Mr. Marcelo will speak, yes? Please, anything, you know, how you are feeling, you know, doing it with us or...
I would like to thank you all for the company, for the nice moments. Cheers.
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 Pachamama.
Pachamama.
Cheers.
At least we are all tired together.
Yes.
This is very important.
Very important.
It's a fraternity.
Yeah. Suffering together makes us stronger.
Strong. Day 3 is over. As you could probably tell, there wasn't a whole lot going on day 3. We just walked down the whole valley and now we've arrived at these very cool jungle domes, which is going to be our home for the night. So they're very much like the sky domes, except obviously green and you can't see out the top. But I think these are probably my favorite so far. Just looks very tropical and it feels a whole lot more tropical down here. Like really, really warm. What are we doing this afternoon?
Going to the hot springs, which will be very, very nice for our muscles.
Hope so.
Because after today I definitely feel the worst, which is very strange because it was flat all the time. To get to the hot springs we hopped in a van and took a long, bumpy and windy road with some pretty sketchy sections along the way. We made it in one piece though and spent the evening soaking our very tired muscles in the warm water whilst enjoying the beautiful backdrop behind us.
Is it nice?
Yeah, it's not like super hot, but I think it's good when I get out because if it was really hot I would feel very cold very quickly.
Good morning guys, and welcome to the final day of the trek. It's like 4:30 in the morning. Slept really well, but this is going to be the longest day of trekking that we've done, so it's going to be really tough. Save the worst till last. You ready to go?
Yes and no. Not looking forward to the long kilometers and the uphill at the start.
No. Today we've got about 26 kilometers to walk. That's 2 kilometers further than when we went over the pass on the second day. But we're walking all the way to Aguas Calientes, which is where we're going to get the bus up to Machu Picchu from. So tonight we're going to be staying in a hostel, in a proper bed, but we've just got a long way to go to get there first. We're starting with like 800 meters of uphill, about 3 hours, and then it sort of flattens off. It's a little bit easier for the rest of the trip, but it's just a long way. We're already a bit tired. The hot springs definitely helped the legs and the muscles, but it's going to be a very, very long last few kilometers, I think. Let's get up this hill. Once we're up the hill, I think the hardest part of the day is done. After a quick stop at the local Starbucks, we continued to climb higher and higher until we eventually made it to the summit of our final ascent.
Good job. Good job.
Gracias.
Yes.
And we were treated to possibly the best view of the entire trek. So these ruins are called Lactapacta. They're an old Incan ruin, just like Machu Picchu, just a lot smaller. But the views from up here, something else, seriously amazing. They make the entire hike worthwhile. Look at that.
You ready for 20 more kilometers?
How many have we done?
6.
6 out of 26. Worth it for that view though.
Yeah.
We got lunch in 3 hours.
Yes, that's what's gonna keep me going for now.
We're descending now down to our lunch spot. I think we've got another 3 hours to go until we get to lunch. Honestly, the views from Ollantaytambo were just out of this world. Could not ask for a better viewpoint. We still got further to walk than we did the whole day yesterday, which is crazy to think, but hopefully most of it is flat or downhill. Should be a little bit easier than this morning. And if we keep getting viewpoints like we did up there, then I'm not gonna mind at all.
Good job. This is our restaurant. Yes, good job. High five.
Thank you. Finished lunch. Thankfully now it is all just flat. We're walking along this road for a little bit and then it's just going to be along the train tracks all the way to Aguas Calientes. And
We have approximately 4 hours.
yeah, 4 hours of walking.
But it's really hot now.
Yeah, we're down below
Really?
2,000 meters now. We're about 1,850. So this is the lowest we've been in a long time.
Probably about a month or so.
Yeah, definitely feeling the heat, but the scenery is still just
beautiful, but
something else. I mean, look at this.
looks like something out of Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
A little bit.
I feel like we're walking into the lost world or something.
Yeah.
The end is in sight.
Tomorrow, Machu Picchu.
Machu Picchu tomorrow. We're getting closer.
We made it to the start of the train tracks and began what would mentally probably be the toughest stretch of the entire trek.
Machu Picchu up there, that's where we're going tomorrow. So we've got about 3 kilometers to go along these tracks until we get to Aguas Calientes. Not gonna lie, both of our feet are absolutely killing us right now, along with our legs. It's just a very long way, like 6 miles along these train tracks. It's flat, but it's just so monotonous. It's rocky underfoot. You just know you're so close to the end, but so far at the same time. We're gonna push through these last 3 kilometers, hopefully have a nice hot shower and relax in Aguas Calientes before tomorrow.
After what seemed like an eternity, we finally got our first glimpse of Aguas Calientes and the arriving steamer. We made it! Oh my god, I can't believe it!
We made it!
That's literally until my head.
We're gonna sleep well on this mattress. Look at this. It's the beefiest mattress I've ever seen. This is nice.
Yeah,
I was not expecting this.
No?
They said hostel, but this is like definitely more like a hotel.
Oh, you're so sweaty and disgusting. Oh.
I'm proud of you. Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
Today is finally the day after many, many years of waiting. 4 days and 79 kilometers
I know.
hiking.
I still can't believe that we've done all of that.
No, today is finally the day we get to see Machu Picchu.
So excited.
I know,
Yeah.
it's crazy. So it's about 5 o'clock in the morning. We're gonna go and have a quick breakfast, and then we're heading off to the bus station to get the bus all the way up to the mountain.
Luckily we don't have to hike up, which is a bonus, but we have to hike down, so...
Don't think my legs could carry me
to
up.
preserve some of the energy right now. We're in! We arrived to Machu Picchu around 7 a.m. and were met with a very thick blanket of cloud which made visibility very limited. Our guide told us this was pretty normal for early morning and that the fog would clear within 30 minutes or so. But 2 hours later we were still waiting. Then, just as we were about to give up all hope of seeing this amazing place, the clouds very slowly started to thin and the iconic view of Machu Picchu stretched out before us. And boy, was it worth the wait.
It's hard to put into words what it feels like to be in a place like Machu Picchu. There almost seems to be a tangible energy to the place, and despite the huge numbers of people that you're sharing the site with, you can almost feel this spiritual connection to the Inca who came before. It's not something that we often feel when we visit a very famous location or see a beautiful view, but here at Machu Picchu, we both felt it very strongly. We spent the rest of the morning wandering around the ancient ruins, getting plenty of information about the site and its history from our guide. Machu Picchu is a place that is very hard to leave because you just want to stare at it and soak in the atmosphere for as long as you can. But eventually we did have to leave to begin our descent back down to Aguas Calientes. So just leaving Machu Picchu, it was an incredible experience.
Yeah, it's definitely worth the hype.
It is worth the hype. You just get a feeling whilst you're there, like a spiritual energy. It's just
And
such
the
an amazing place.
And the landscape around it is just amazing.
It's stunning.
Like,
It's
no wonder
just otherworldly.
Yeah.
I just kept thinking of like Avatar and Pandora with the mist in the valleys. It was just
It felt
incredible.
like we're in a movie set,
Yeah.
really. There's quite a lot of people actually.
A lot of
considering
people
that
still.
It's just the start of the season.
And we had obviously a guided tour all the way around, so we learned a lot about the stuff,
That
which
was
is
very interesting.
a very good thing to do. Even if you don't do the Salkantay Trek like we did and have a guide already, it's probably worth getting a guide for sure. Just an absolutely incredible place.
Yeah. I can't believe that we've
No.
just done it. I think we need to process it.
Our second wonder of the modern wonder of the world that we've seen after the Colosseum in Rome.
Yeah.
So we're ticking them off slowly, and we're just really happy because in the morning, as you saw, the fog
Honestly.
was just so low, and it stayed so low for so
We were
long.
so sad, like we walked like 50 miles, like almost 80 kilometers, just to watch the
Literally.
fog come and go, but not clearing properly.
It was like
so-
2 hours we were
Yeah,
waiting for it to
and-
clear.
but it
then
was
that,
worth it.
that moment when it cleared, it was just
Everybody was clapping.
the best. It was
amazing.
honestly amazing. Really, really thankful for that we had the weather. We got here okay and everything. We're going to hike back down to Aguas Calientes, and then we've got one more little adventure planned to get back to Ollantaytambo, which we're going to share with you after lunch.
We sat down for a yummy lunch in Aguas Calientes with a nice view out over the main square before heading over to the train station. On the way we saw just how big the queues get for the buses up to Machu Picchu in the afternoon, so we definitely recommend going as early as you can. The train to Aguas Calientes departs from Ollantaytambo, and you can take it in both directions if you don't want to do any trekking. It's a pretty luxurious train ride with padded seats and windows all around the carriage so that you can see up into the heights of the valley as you travel through it. Train ride done.
We made our way to the bus in Ollantaytambo and hopped on back to Cusco. As the sun set over the mountains, we had time to reflect on just what an amazing experience the last 5 days had been, and how fortunate we are to be able to have adventures like this one. We can highly recommend the Salkantay Trek to anyone thinking about hiking to Machu Picchu. It is filled with so many incredible sights, from soaring mountains to deep, lush valleys, and arriving to Machu Picchu this way makes the payoff that much more special.